The outpost on Kepler 442b had seen better days. Commander Evan of the Thalian Defense Fleet stood at the viewport of the damaged station, watching the human ship dock with an elegance that shouldn't have been possible, given the electromagnetic storm raging outside. The sleek vessel, bearing Earth's insignia, slid into the docking bay as if the lightning and solar winds were nothing more than a light breeze. "Sir, the human envoy is requesting permission to board," his second-in-command reported, tentacles writhing nervously. Evan's mandibles clicked in frustration. Humans. Of all the species that could have responded to their distress signal, it had to be humans. The galaxy's most unpredictable, most reckless, most absurdly resilient species. They were the ones who had somehow survived a planetary extinction event, clawed their way to space travel in a fraction of the time it took other civilizations, and now had the audacity to offer help to species far older than themselves. "Grant them access," Evan said, his translator converting his clicks and whistles into galactic standard. "But keep weapons ready." The airlock hissed open, and Hannah stepped through. She was tall for a human, with dark hair pulled back into what his database identified as a ponytail. Her environmental suit was light, far too light for the radiation levels on this moon, and she carried herself with the easy confidence of a predator in its prime. But what struck Evan most was her smile. Humans smiled when they were happy, when they were nervous, and apparently, when they walked into a potentially hostile alien station. "Commander Evan," she said, extending her hand in the peculiar human greeting gesture. "I'm Captain Hannah Rodriguez of the UESV Defiance. We received your distress call." Evan stared at her hand for a moment before gingerly extending one of his primary appendages. Her grip was firm, warm, and uncomfortably strong. "Captain Rodriguez," he acknowledged. "Your arrival is timely. We've been stranded here for 3 cycles. Our primary power core was damaged by raiders, and we've been running on emergency reserves." Hannah's expression shifted, her eyes narrowing. Even through the cultural barrier, Evan recognized the look of a warrior assessing a battlefield. "Raiders. Are they still in the system? They departed 2 cycles ago after stripping our cargo bay. We're not worth their—" The station shuddered. Alarms blared across every deck. Evan's console lit up with hostile signatures. "They've returned," his second-in-command shrieked. 3 ships, Kragor-class destroyers." Hannah's smile vanished, replaced by something far more dangerous. "Commander, get your people to the shelters. My crew will handle this. Captain, with all due respect, you have 1 ship against 3— "Commander," she interrupted, her voice carrying an edge that made Evan's survival instincts scream. "Humans don't leave people behind. And we really don't like bullies." She tapped her wrist device. "Rodriguez to Defiance. Red alert. Combat protocols. Let's show these pirates why you don't mess with Earth's neighbors." The human ship detached from the station with impossible speed. Through the viewport, Evan watched as the Defiance, smaller than any of the 3 raider vessels, accelerated directly toward the enemy formation. It was suicide. It was madness. It was humanity. The lead raider ship fired first, a superheated plasma bolt designed to cripple shield generators. The blast should have vaporized the Defiance's forward section. Instead, Hannah's ship rolled, and the bolt passed harmlessly through the space where it had been a microsecond before. "Impossible," Evan whispered. "That reaction time, sir," his weapons officer called out. "The human ship is— It's moving inside their firing solutions. They can't track it." The Defiance wove through the barrage like a dancer performing an ancient routine. Every movement was calculated, every dodge precisely timed. But it wasn't running. It was positioning. A second raider fired, a desperate wide beam shot meant to catch the elusive human vessel. Hannah's response was to accelerate directly into it. Evan's crew gasped in horror. Then they saw it. The human ship's forward deflectors flared with energy, creating a magnetic bottle that captured the plasma bolt mid-flight. For 3 seconds, that felt like an eternity. The Defiance held the enemy's own weapon suspended in front of it, the angry orange glow of contained plasma painting the hull in hellish light. Hannah's voice crackled over the comm channel, broadcast on all frequencies. "Nice try, sweetheart." The Defiance spun, using the momentum to redirect the captured plasma bolt back at the raiders. But she didn't just return it. Somehow, impossibly, the human ship had compressed and amplified the energy. When it was released, it split into 3 separate bolts, each one streaking toward a different raider vessel. 2 of the raiders managed to dodge. The third wasn't so lucky. Its shields collapsed under the impact of its own weapon, amplified to 3 times its original strength. "This is Captain Rodriguez to all hostile vessels." Hannah's voice rang out across the system. "You fired on a ship under Earth's protection. That was your warning shot. Return to sender. The next one won't be." The raider ships hesitated. In that moment of indecision, Evans saw what made humans truly terrifying. It wasn't their technology, which was good but not exceptional. It wasn't their physical strength, which paled compared to dozens of other species. It was their absolute, unshakable confidence that they would win. That surrender wasn't an option. That retreat was merely a temporary setback. Humans looked at the impossible and said, "Watch this." The lead raider captain, clearly recognizing the same truth, ordered a full retreat. The 3 ships jumped to hyperspace, leaving Evans' outpost in shocked silence. Hannah's ship docked again, and she strode back onto the station with that same easy smile, as if she hadn't just caught a plasma bolt mid-flight and used it as a weapon. "So," she said cheerfully, "about that power core. My engineer thinks we can have you up and running in about 6 hours. In the meantime, I brought coffee. Real coffee, from Earth. You guys drink coffee, right?" Evans stared at her. His mandibles hung open. His translator struggled to find words. Finally, he managed, "You," caught their weapon, and threw it back. Hannah's grin widened. She winked. Another peculiar human gesture his database said indicated playfulness or conspiracy. "Commander," she said, "where I come from, we have a saying, don't start something you can't finish. Those raiders started something." She turned toward the docking bay, pausing to look back over her shoulder. "Oh, and next time? Maybe call us first before the raiders show up. We're always happy to help." As she walked away, Evan understood something that would eventually be recorded in every galactic database. Humanity had evolved on a death world. Surrounded by predators, disasters, and impossible odds, they had learned not just to survive but to thrive, to turn their enemies' strengths into weaknesses, to look at danger and blow it a kiss. The galaxy would never be the same.